Thank you to the chair and to the board for having me here today and allowing me to present our 2018 progress report from the Arts and Culture from the CRD Arts Commission. And I'd like to provide a little background on the report of how we got here today, describe the goals that were reported on within the report, and share some highlights of the impact that the CRD Arts Commission and the organizations with which we give grants to are having on our community. How did we get here? In 2016, the CRD board, priority 11B, was to develop a comprehensive arts and culture strategy. So from there, a 6-month community engagement process entitled Building Our Arts Future was initiated. And the results of that process was the CRD Arts Strategic Plan. In there was 9 key actions which were approved. Among them were creating greater inclusion in who we fund, improved information sharing through outreach initiatives, and this report is actually a major deliverable of that process. This report, it does share both the intrinsic value of the arts as well as the instrumental value of arts and culture in our region. And I won't go through every page, but I hope you will go through every page yourself, and that you'll go back to your councils and your communities as a champion of what's in this document and the great work that's being done by the Arts Commission. In 2018, $2.4 million was distributed to nonprofit organizations, and that was distributed through 5 different granting streams. So we have multi-year operating funding, annual operating funding, project funding, and so that goes to everything from festivals to art shows, series, and then we have an equity grant as well as an incubator grant. And this progress is measured in 5 key impact areas. So tracked within the report are the impact areas, which are collaborative governance, community participation, creativity, equity and inclusion, and the economy. If you look through the report, you'll also find that these goals are greatly aligned with the CRD's strategic priorities. And how it's tracked is through metrics from our own databases and external sources, as well as stories that link funded activities to the impact that these grants are having on our communities and the lives of our residents. So going through the impact areas, the first one is collaborative governance and the benefit that that has on the arts sector. So our goal is full participation in the CRD arts function. However, currently we have 9 jurisdictions participating, including Saanich, Victoria, Oak Bay, Esquimalt, View Royal, Metchosin, Highlands, Sooke, and the Southern Gulf Islands, which joined in 2018. And I think it's noteworthy that since joining in 2018, Southern Gulf Islands arts organizations have begun to receive grants. And in our last, the project grants that were approved just last week, there are a number that are going to that jurisdiction. So within the participating jurisdictions, we have 315,000 residents, about 76% of the regional population, and participation in the service provides CRD support for the arts and related social and economic benefits that accrue for participating jurisdictions. The second impact is that arts and culture are central to life in our communities. So the goal is to increase awareness and knowledge of regional arts, and we're lucky to live in a community and a region that already supports and participates in the arts to a great degree. So national studies show that arts attendance is connected to community well-being and pride. And in the CRD, in a survey, 9 out of 10 residents report interest or active participation in the arts. Volunteer rights in the arts are also very high in our region, some of the highest in the country, with 1 in 4 people in our region volunteering in the arts. So the CRD arts function helps facilitate that, as a majority of funded organizations provide free participatory events for the public. In all, there was 3,884 events and workshops produced by funded organizations. And there was a total attendance of over 730,000 at events hosted by CRD funded arts organizations in 2017-2018 year. The next impact is artists create a unique cultural landscape. And I think we all know that arts and culture are key to building healthy, vibrant communities. And I think that this is the key in this impact area, how we can show that we are making progress. So the goal is to sustain growth in arts and organizations. And so with that, we had a new grant stream that was started in 2017 called the Incubator Grant, which is to help enhance sustainability and resiliency in small and emerging arts organizations to help with their organizational development. And I think that's important because our region is home to a wide variety of arts and cultural organizations. We have many of the large organizations that receive the operating funding, or now they're able to receive multi-year operating funding through the CRD Arts. But it's also key that we help grow and sustain the smaller arts organization and emerging organizations in all of our communities throughout the region. And of this, the CRD has expanded the offering, so 83 organizations received funding in 2018, which is 20% more than organizations who received funding in 2017. And 72% of organizations created and premiered new works by local artists that reflect the unique cultural landscape of the region. The next impact area is equity and inclusion, and the impact here is that arts funding contributes to an inclusive society. And the goal is to increase access and reduce barriers to participation. So during our strategic plan consultation process, or the Building Our Arts Future consultation, the community asked for increased support for diversity of art forms and arts practices in the region. So after hearing that, a new granting stream was launched, which is called the Equity Grant Program, which aims to fund more diverse arts organizations and diverse events throughout the region. And so we had 21 eligible organizations apply and 11 successful applicants. And some of the communities that received funding that previously had not been supported by CRD Arts Commission funding are events like mixed ability dance, Indigenous arts, and LGBTQIA2+ community arts programming. And our final impact area is economic. A thriving creative economy meets the needs of our local arts sector. And the goal is to ensure grant programs are responsive and meet community needs. So the arts make a significant contribution to our regional economy, and this goal is about building the capacity of the arts organizations that are having that large economic impact in our communities. And I think, I sometimes hear people mention that, like, why should we invest in the arts? And I believe very strongly that there's an intrinsic value in investing in the arts, investing in art for the sake of art and for the sake of building healthy, vibrant communities. But if it comes down to the bottom line of investing based on dollars, it is also a sound investment. And I like the fact that that's laid out in here quite clearly as well. In fact, each $1 invested helps generate an additional $10.6 in sponsorships, other grants, and self-generated revenues. And we're seeing that public sector funding enables organizations to diversify budgets and supports jobs. CRD helped support jobs for 3,579 cultural workers in 2017 alone. So we can see there's also a very positive economic benefit. The last slide here is looking at these are the current appointees. So I just want to finish by thanking staff for all their great work, the commissioners for all their great work, and also for to all of you for allowing me to speak, and to all the participating jurisdictions for their support of the CRD Arts Commission, and for everyone and all the support they give the arts in their own communities as well.